degrees up north. I never seen the good and bad. I bury niggas I thought couldn't die, that got grounded for looking fly. Fresh to death and looked alive. And the nigga that did it and hear the news and looked surprised. He be them niggas that you went to school with, that'll catch you while you in your new it. He turn your brains into cool with. Niggas that you running around getting ass with ain't gon' help you do nothing but carry a casket. He be them niggas that you went to school with, that'll catch you while you in your new it. He turn your brains into cool with. Niggas that you running around getting ass with ain't gon' help you do nothing but carry a casket. I ain't know what love was till I lost a loved one. You gotta check locations where niggas showing they love from. If your nigga catch feelings for cookies, he love crumbs. But if he get too close to the jump, show him you love guns. Niggas be in they feelings like some fresh shoes, cause they can't profit off your next move. I'm the shit, it is me you gotta excuse. You know how many winners I let lose, cause they was tryna cross me like some neck Jews. What y'all feeding these rats, it ain't pet food. These are lessons you couldn't learn in your best schools. Like when the money's on the wood, how to make the debts move. Ain't nothing about success unsuccessful. You bound to get fucked if you jumping in the sex pool. His levels to this shit, I play by step rules. Like after step one, just know who to step to. He be them niggas that you went to school with, that'll catch you while you in your new it. He turn your brains into cool with. Niggas that you running around getting ass with ain't gon' help you do nothing but carry a casket. He be them niggas that you went to school with, that'll catch you while you in your new it. He turn your brains into cool with. Niggas that you running around getting ass with ain't gon' help you do nothing but carry a casket.
You are tuned in to Prophet Radio with your host, Prophet Pete.
Yo, what up, my people? You already know who it is. It's your boy, Prophet Pete. And this is Prophet Radio on a Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m., like we do every week. And we got some special guests in the building today. And we're going to talk to them. We're doing things a little different. You know, Wednesdays I like to turn it up. I talk my crap. And I talk about everybody because I'm not afraid. So it works out great. But I got people that like to express themselves in ways that we're going to talk about and they're going to show you in a bit. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves because no one introduces you better than you. So, ladies.
Hello, my name is Kendra Blondell, and I'm a spoken word artist and a singer-songwriter.
So it's like I do a little spoken word, but I also
Right.
So that's the way you giving it up.
Right.
Oh, that was a
That's what I'm
setup.
talking about. Yes.
You didn't tell me that until now. Like
She said surprise.
Oh, okay. I see. Interesting.
And I am May I Speak, your poet / host on WEMS Radio.
Yes.
Yes.
So it is Wednesday. How's this weather for you guys?
Oh my God.
I love it actually.
Spring has sprung.
Right.
I am so happy. Like some type of sunlight. Even though the winter hasn't been bad, you know, we haven't gotten a lot of snow or anything, so I'm grateful for that. But today is beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
But we all know
Even though I love winter.
tomorrow you can wake up and it'll be 20 degrees.
Right, true.
And it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Right, that's true.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York. Right, exactly.
You just gotta be prepared, that's all.
Yep.
Yeah, just gotta be prepared. So, what really made you get started in the spoken word realm?
Long story short, I've been writing for a very long time. I believe, like I said, like 2nd grade. Fast forward to 7th grade, I got like an accolade. My poem was published in a school book. And even before that, my mother, my family was very supportive, like making sure that I'm always expressing myself, even if it got me into trouble sometimes. But I had a 7th grade teacher, Miss Paskins, I never forget her. After I got published, she kept me after class. She said, "Kendra, never stop writing." And before that, I was okay in school, but I never really got that like accolade, like, oh, this is special. Because when I was like, everybody writes, this is not special. Until she like really pulled me to the side, I was like, oh, this means something. And then ever since then, I've just been writing, and like I've been performing for like almost 2 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
someone said you had to keep going, which is important.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which is
Yeah.
important, and I think that what I find in our culture, we are usually not very expressive with our feelings.
that's right.
So a lot of that stuff gets bottled up. So to hear that
Right.
you were very expressive on how you felt, even though it got you in trouble.
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes I'm very vocal in my feelings. I get in trouble all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
All the time. It just is what it is.
The truth ruffles people's feathers sometimes.
What?
And it makes
She
you feel
said it.
uncomfortable
And it's-
sometimes. But, you
And
know.
it's, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Then they get mad when you lie to them.
Right. It's like, which one do
I
you
don't
want?
get it.
Exactly. Let's choose one.
Right,
Struggle
right.
here.
Yeah.
But what that is that people live in denial
Right.
Live in denial in their own truth.
in their
Right.
own truth.
In their
Exactly.
own truth.
You know,
Right.
when you can't face yourself in the mirror, it's something different. When someone can do that and just be genuine, honest with you, you gotta face you first.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what made you get started, Miss May?
I started because, you know, she was blessed to have parents that, you know, she can express herself. I didn't know how to express myself, so I kept everything bottled in. And being that I couldn't be boisterous, I wrote everything down. And that's how I became to write my feelings. And one day someone read it, they was like, you do poetry. Because myself, I didn't know. I just wrote whatever I felt at that moment. And from there, I just kept on. Then last year of August, I did my first open mic. And that just went from there.
Interesting. Well, I'm not a spoken word poet, but I speak in a poetic like way. That's how I do it. I'm just saying. But look, it is what it is. I used to write poetry as a kid, but I did it for one reason only, and it was for the ladies.
Right. I was just about to say
And that's what it was
Alright,
for.
alright.
I had this one poem that was like my staple, and when I used to give it to them, I used to fold it in a certain way. It was like, and it was like, yo, if you got that one, yeah, you call it me.
Right.
That's the way that it was. It's, you know,
You want some lunch?
I'm telling you, and this was like in my junior high school days. So you know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if I went to the after school center,
Oh, my
had some
God.
girls
You
getting
gotta
there,
sad.
you know. And then after that, it was like, okay, I got married, so I don't need to write poetry no more. That's it. So it
That's when
works.
you supposed to write, man.
No.
Right.
No, when you get married, you don't write poetry. You get a therapist. Like at that point, writing stuff down is not gonna work. You need a therapist. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. You need some professional help after you get married.
Well, you
Because-
scaring me. Let me chill.
Well, getting married is good, but not always great.
Okay.
You know, it's not always great, and
But what is perfect though? Like, you
um.
know, it's always
nothing's ever-
ups and downs.
Nothing's ever perfect. I just think the reason why relationships fail and situations go left is because people have unrealistic expectations.
Yes,
of it.
very much.
So it's like you come in and you're like, you're going to treat me this way. And it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So how am I going to do that?
Right, exactly.
And then you get mad because I'm not doing it. And it turns into a thing.
Right.
So now you're just mad all the time. I don't know why you mad. Then I'm mad because you mad. I don't know. Now we just
Right.
upset.
It's like taking responsibility. Like nobody's responsible for your happiness. They're
No.
supposed to add to it.
Yes.
They're not solely responsible for making you happy. And I think a lot of people pass the bucket on that. Like I'm in a relationship now. It's your responsibility to put a smile on my face. No, you can keep me smiling.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna be smiling when you approach me, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a responsibility you have to yourself to make yourself happy, and I think that a lot of people don't like to admit that.
Yes.
Years
It's
of
the truth.
therapy
It's the
taught
truth.
me that you have to know how to make yourself happy.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't know,
If
how to
you
make
can't
you'll never be
figure it out,
happy.
No matter what that person does, you can say, look, if you do this for me, I'll be happy. And then they get done and then
It's not good
Something
enough.
you're mad again, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yes,
Like
yes.
it doesn't make any sense. But for me, I know what makes me happy. I'm very simple. I think I was told I'm not. I think I'm pretty simple, but you know, it's hey, look, you love me, I love you back. Let's grow old together and be able to have a conversation sitting on a rocking chair on the porch. If we could do that, I'm good.
Okay.
It's-
That's the end goal.
Yeah, it's because you know you start to lose function of things when you get older. So you at least
You gotta love me beyond that. Like, you gotta love me beyond that.
I need
Exactly.
to know that we can talk, like because we can't do what we used to
Listen, communication is the key. Communication is the key now.
do. Yeah. Yo, when you hit a certain age, there's certain things that don't even matter no more. It's like, I don't care about that.
Right.
I'm not a teenager no more. I have teenagers. I have 20-year-old kids. So,
Wow.
well, actually older than 20, pushing close to. We ain't even talking. We're not even gonna talk. We're not even gonna talk about that. So, I know you came here to showcase some of your work. So, how many pieces do you have for us today?
I mean, it depends on how much you want to hear. I got a couple of sets in me.
Oh, you got a couple of sets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, how do you actually prepare?
Oh. Prepare for writing a piece or prepare for
Both.
performing or. Oh well, pieces like my brain is like what I'll be like. That's a dope idea. And then there'll be a whole bunch of words bouncing around, so I'll write like words and schemes and bars to complement that idea. And then like I'll like the words kind of speak to you like it's time to write. And then I'll just like get in the mode and then I'll start writing. And I'll be writing like a piece for depending like 3 days to a week, sometimes longer. It depends on like the message I want to convey.
Right.
It's different. Certain things need to be said softly. Certain things need to be said more aggressive. It's like, how am I going to deliver this message and paint the picture the way I need it to be painted? Because that's what we're doing. It's like a movie that we're depicting. Like, I need you to hear. I need you to feel me. I need you to see what I'm saying. That's that's the difference between poetry and spoken word artistry is for me. Like, a poet can get up and just read. There is a theatrical aspect to what we do. You got to perform that thing. Like, you got to put on the show when you're saying what you're saying. You can't just stand there with a book. You got to put a little thing in it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning. 'Cause I'm beginning. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
listening. I'm listening. Okay.
And what I have learned, or what I've seen with spoken word artists, is that what catches my attention is the change in pitch when they go from one portion of what they're saying to the next, and then
being
their
on
body
feelings.
movements,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's to me, it's just wild.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh wow, that's so cool. I forgot what you said, but what you just did, yo, that was awesome. You know, and it's like, it's just amazing to me. And I think it takes a lot of creativity, because not only are you saying your words, but then you're adding all this extra to it to really emphasize those things that you were saying. And like you said, it's not just like reading off a piece of paper. It's totally different. It's totally different.
I'm getting there though.
All those whatever movie they have that's out there, that there's some poetry going on and some dark lounge or whatever.
Right.
I'm always on it. I'm always on. I don't remember the name of the movies, but I was like, yo, that was dope. Yeah, but it's really interesting to see people express themselves in that way. Yeah, it's freaking amazing.
It feels good.
Yeah.
You know, what coming from where I came from, of not speaking and not be able to speak how I felt, now doing it, it's kind of like therapy in a sense for me. It's I love doing it. And why I do is because you never know who may feel what you feel and cannot express themselves. So I used to write it down a lot. My sister, when she was alive, she was like, you need to start writing a book, and you need to start speaking your words. People need to hear this, you know. And when I first did it, it was very touching to me because my sister passed in 2016. She was like my best friend. So when I stood on that stage, I thought of her. This is for you. I'm speaking because you told me I could. You know, so it gave me strength enough to be like I was telling her, I was shaking, but I did it. And when I finished, it was like a whole new me. It was like the little girl that I was holding inside was set free. So it was like, I'm gonna continue to do this because what I just felt here is something brand new to me. This is something I always wanted to feel, but I was so scared to express. And being that it was a lady, actually, she said, you have the crowd. And I like when sometimes you gotta pinch yourself to make sure like this is really happening, because you know you pray for things silently, but when it's out in the open that you can see it, it's such a different feeling. And it's like, alright, God, I hear you. Sis, I see you, I hear you. I'm gonna continue, and that's why what she was saying is you gotta have that. I learned when you just said, I was like, all right, no more paper for me after today. No more paper. Because you know when you've been doing this for a while, just starting to really see someone like say, I don't need no more paper, and because what it was with me, I was like kind of shy to really like that, because usually when I would read it, it's me by myself. Right. So now I'm learning, like, no, you're not by yourself. Yeah. You got to talk to people all around you. So when, today I'm very excited. I'm sitting at the miss and song, and she writes songs, so you already know. Girl, I got some things I need you to sing because I can't. But I that's what got me really doing poetry as well, like I said.
And just like it's a manifestation type of thing. I think that everybody, this is what I believe, that we all have artistic abilities that we start out with. Children know. You can tell when a child can color really good, or dance really well, or sing really well, or write really. It comes at a young age, and I think just who we are now is like our imagination manifestation of our imagination. It's like, this was in you for a long time. You say you've been writing since you was 8. I've been writing since I was 2nd grade. This is not a coincidence. It's like us meeting up with what purpose to do. Yes. That's
how deep it is. I feel. And not too many people understand that.
Right. But they'll feel it.
Yeah.
Like when you can't deny the truth. You may not want to listen to it, but you're going to feel it. Regardless if you want to hear it or not, you know when something's real, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Like, damn, that hit me like, what? Even if you, exactly. And it'll reach you. Like, even if you ain't going to listen, you hear me though. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to smack you.
Yeah, and even with you saying that, where you guys been writing for a very long time. Yeah. When I was young, I always used to draw. And that was my thing. Right. And that's how I expressed myself. And I told you I did the poetry thing before.
For sure.
but it was always drawing and things like that. And as I got older, I own a graphic design business. I'm a tattoo artist. See? So it's all these things that come from that stuff that you were so passionate about, and it just came natural to you as a child.
Yes.
And I'm at peace when I'm sitting there and I'm drawing. I'm doing something, or let me pull out that tattoo gun, and I'm like, and I'm like, it hurts, don't it? But I'm feeling good. I'm having a good old time. I told one client, I was like, does it hurt? And they're like, yeah. I said, I don't feel a thing. And I just kept on going because, I was feeling great. I really was. And that was one of my first tattoos. I think I jacked that one up. But we're not going to talk about that. Right. Yeah. He still has it to this day. Shout out to John for being the test dummy. Yeah, he was a test dummy. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick music break, and when we come back, we're going to get into some of those pieces that you raised.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I hope y'all ready.
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
here. I ain't gonna be there.
Exactly.
You ever had sex on the beach, blunt like tape, with the sand on your feet, man, money low, nigga, like a scam, with said I need a fix, so he put his hand on me, He wanna take me down, give him good sex, so he wanna thank me now. Don't wanna be his wife, he might hate me now. I just wanna have fun, I ain't looking for no man. Old school was rates with Selenas. We could do 5-star old plates and manners. This monkey make him go bananas. Please hold my hand, let go the manners. Cause you ain't gotta fight no more. Sit back and lay high just like that roll. Head so good, he say you wanna wife my jaw. Put him to sleep, do it again, 2 months on, that's in the morning. Sex never boring, say you tryna cuff me like I got a warrant, but I don't wanna commit. I'm only 21, I ain't mad young, and I ain't never trust a nigga ever since my last one, so we could just vibe out. Go out, take time out, rent a car and ride out. Book a trip, let's fly out. Back shots, blow my mind out, stay lit and hide out. Run away from the world with you, you wanna make me a girl to you. And low key, I'm with it, but it's hard for dudes to stay committed. Cause you still a player, no pun intended. But I know you got a good heart, but sex and love so free. Let's move like the sea with no breeze. Used to be my heart, now I got no sleeves. Let's do about things wrong from the police. Like hearts, but sex and love so free.
Nipsey, man. West side, Aces, Brooklyn, Fame Life, Rap School. Catch me through your city, low riding hydraulics, so violent, bouncing alpines, bumping that biggie, ugly face, no smiling, cops profiling. They ain't got no knowledge, wanna know who the fuck is he? Moving at a low mileage by the college, fuck class hopping, catch your footing, girl, cause I ain't stopping. Rolling up the smoke, spokes on Murder She Wrote. We rolling like mobsters, even lights can't stop us. Say to stare through they binoculars, they follow us. Hearts keep popping up, we too cool and popular. My views more ocular, my mood more.
New York, +1 646 699 9747.
Listen, this is great.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Hello. Thank you for calling.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for calling.
I listen to as a young child, like most of us do. So it was the oldies for me. I was like in 3rd, 4th grade singing Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder and Roberta Flack and Aretha Franklin and Whitney and Mariah and the greats, the people who like are really musical geniuses. That's and then I got older and I started listening to like Aaliyah and 702 and Brandy and and that whole that whole wave. But yeah, when I was young, it was like those people. Nina Simone, she's like my favorite artist of all time. Nina Simone and Lauryn Hill, those are the top tier.
Cool.
Yeah.
She ancient.
I'm ancient.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, bye.
Girl.
Yeah, so we back. We back.
Bro, dramatic when I'm famous. I don't like
that. We still back. Don't worry. Don't worry. But, so what we gonna do is we're gonna get into some of this work. This work, the work that you ladies have been talking about since you got here. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start off with Kendra. And if I close my eyes, it don't matter because again nobody sees my eyes anyway. See, so this is what we gonna do because I might just need to get into the, just like feel it. So I might close my eyes. So
do I need tissue first? Because I need to know.
Is it gonna be one of those? Is it gonna be what we gonna hear? Is it gonna be emotional? Is it gonna be deep? Is it gonna be like gritty?
It's gonna be a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
I'm gonna start snapping.
Okay, so my first piece is called Tree, and it's actually on an album, a collaborative album that I did with other poets. I believe it's 29. It's called Voices of New York. I said we, people of the sun, rhythmic hues defined to the crackling bones of ancestors swana. Harmonies in which we sway with godly execution. I mean, who be moving like? Who be grooving like us? And I say, I shows know how to boogie with that there bullseye on my back, and I'm bred from the finest of lemons. Speaking in tongues and surviving through combat. I come from a tribe of women who had elixir to heal, even when hearts of hands were broken. Ring revolution in these conjured up spokens. In the caliber of this here vernacular, where that's born somewhere between the chicken spot and Ivory Coast, working class heroin, so you know that girl dope and oh my creator. Custom tailored, fine tuned to weather the storms and tribulations to all that I do. And yeah, I try to hide, cause I swear to God, sometimes that pain don't let me cry. It's like a dry heat, numb like cotton mouth for a field nigga, but go figure it be that melanin that holds the fountain of youth. And as a woman, society tells me that I should just shut the fuck up and clutch my pearls, and being black is knowing how to sing and dance with this here noose, kicking in the swinging electric slide over white supremacy and blur lines. I mean cultural appropriation. As we shuffle to the middle passage, doing the swim and moonwalking on water to those crying Atlantics. But you see, they don't even know. Our dance is like a form of prayer. When epigenetics and rhythm, baby, that's what got us here. It started with the bend of that wrist, on how Granny stirred up them grits, laying on the hands and the sway of our hips. Our clenched fists to sit-ins, our movement starts movement. We persevere through persecution, I'm telling you, we do this, and baby, it's in our stance. And every time my people touch down and turn the sacred ground, we NYPD on them dance floors, how we be killing them out and half. How our body holds sound is hereditary. It's synonymous with the way black folk know how to smile through any type of pain. Hey, yo, we the ones that grow that culture. After we done making it rain. Thank you.
Yes.
This is how we do it.
My fingers are little, so you gotta go with it.
I got it. I almost got it.
Woo.
All right, okay.
See, I think I need tissues.
Wow.
Sister, woo.
There was some stuff being said in there.
It's the truth spoken, yes.
Yo, and there was no paper. Like, it's all memorized. That takes a lot of time, effort, and dedication.
Yes.
Yo, it's amazing.
And I'm like so excited because just to see her flow like that without the paper, like that gives me motivation, baby girl. Yes.
Thank you, sis. That's what it's about. I tell you,
Yes.
I memorize without trying to memorize. So I be in the crib cleaning. I be like, yo, I said, like cleaning. I can't sit there and read the papers. It never works for me. I have to be doing something else and then just say it to myself, and then I'll get on stage, and then you feel the stage. You can feel the electricity of the stage and the people, like you feel it, and it's just like, let's go. It's go time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
yeah. I get it. I would love to see you perform. Well, not that I didn't see you perform live because you did it here, right? But like in a different setting, you know?
You on stage.
Yeah, on stage, dimmer lights and and all that.
The whole spiel.
Yeah. Where there's just a whole bunch of people just with drinks in their hand.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever went to one?
Yeah, on Netflix.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I don't get out much. I work a lot. So yeah, free time is yeah, very rare for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so but one day. Like I think I've been to one comedy show in like my life. It's crazy, and I know people that actually hold events. I get invited to stuff all the time. I just never have the time to go. But I gotta show love to my spoken word people.
Yeah.
Like I need to be out there. I might shed a tear, something, or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Yeah.
You never know. You might write another poetry letter.
Right.
Oh.
Right. It may spark some inspiration.
You never know.
Well, you know, I ain't making no more babies, so yeah. I don't gotta go in that direction, you know. So yeah, I probably could do that. Because I got bars. My issue is that I got to think about writing things down.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I'll come up with something, and I'll be like, yo, I'm going to remember that. And then somebody be like, yo, hey, Prophet. I'll be like, what? And then I forgot everything.
Yes.
Everything is gone, and I'm like, damn, what did I just say? I should have wrote it down, but I never write it down. I think I typed one thing in my phone once, and then lost the phone. So that did me no good. Like, you know, one day I think the devil's trying to stop me from being great.
Yes.
So that's it. I put something in there, lose the phone, break the phone, crack the screen, whatever. It just happens. All types of crazy stuff. So, May, you ready?
Yes, I am. But unfortunately, I'm going to read from my phone. I'm sorry. I'm new to this.
Oh, good.
But this poem
It's
here.
not paper, though. It's not paper.
You ain't lying. This one here is called When They See Us. When they see us, crooked systems say I am a criminal. My skin justifies that I am. Where I come from says I am an animal, but yet my bloodline says I'm royalty. To be royalty is a target against the raging bulls who wants to destroy me. Fog my mental with lies, break down my ancestral spirit as they did my ancestors. I am scared. I speak my truth, but yet they forcibly make me use false allegations, cage me like an animal in the circus. Use me for their entertainment, politicians, bulls with horns, evil intentions. My culture suffers amongst its dynamic actions. Use us against each other, pointing fingers at my brother as they are innocent as I am. Our family's broken. I can hear my mother's cries as she hears mine. Father's manhood tested. I will fight for my innocence, but when they see us, we are guilty by our ancestry. Cowards, aren't they? Afraid of my royalty? Hiding behind their lies, they won't stop my truth. At the end, I will win and screw your system. Reclaiming our history, the blood in my veins runs so deep, you can't get rid of us. My people are ancient history. The truth is our weapon. They try to shut us up. America, the so-called land of free. Let's make America great again by taking back what was stolen from us, our truth. When they see us, they are afraid of my royalty. I will kneel down for my kings and queens who were and are falsely accused of crime they did not commit. When I wrote this for Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, and those who was taken from us. You know, I have another poem where it's sad that people in our color can't have smart. They can't be smart. They can't speak truth. They can walk down, a child cannot walk down the alleyway just to go home because they are afraid of what we have. And I also wrote that for my two sons. I have two young gentlemen that are growing, and when I teach them how to be kings. I teach them to walk with their head high. Understand you always walk with a crown because back then our ancestors fought for us, paved the way for us to stand here. So when they do see us, they're afraid of what we have. They're afraid of our power. And for me, being a mother that can birth life, real kings and queens, I will continue to speak upon that because that has to stop. And our people need to wake up.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tend
Can I
to...
give you an offering?
and you know, it is true that that they do fear us.
Yes.
We are very resilient
Very.
in what we do, and we're looked at as threats from birth.
From birth.
There are so many things that they put to stop us from being together, even black families.
Yes.
The stereotypes, the stigmas, and the things that they put in place
Oh yeah.
to actually stop it.
Yeah.
I actually I forgot what I was watching, and they just showed a bunch of inmates walking from, I guess, the housing area to some other place, and everyone was black and brown. And I'm like, that's the easiest way to stop us from being there. And then we have this whole child support situation, which is a whole nother thing, because men can end up in jail, or if you don't pay, or whatever it is. And then the system is set up to actually take more so that the man can't live.
Right.
But see, that's where, I'm sorry to cut you off, that's where the welfare system was made played. That's where, when it started from that program of you can have a male in the house
yeah,
and
that
be,
was a lawful thing.
right, and
Yeah.
be on public assistance. There's no way a male could be in your home struggling with you, because that right there was the barrier where everything broke down.
Yeah.
You understand? Because when you have a male and a female strong, they know the power of that. You know, what is a woman without her king? You know, how it put it where women had, like, the persona now is, I'm equal to a man. I can do what a man can do. You know why? Because they pulled that man from that home.
And they had to do
They had to do that. That's where it all started, breaking that generation down that way. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like the projects. Do y'all know the real meaning of the project?
Oh, I know.
We are their project to see how we gonna survive through that.
in that space.
And I will give you my perspective on that, and what I read, and it was always funny when, you know, when Nas said it in one of his songs, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book.
Right.
And I took a cultural diversity class, and I'm reading through the book, and I'm like, I can't believe they even printed what I'm reading right now.
Right.
And it was the first projects ever in the United States were in New York, LES, right? That's where it started. Then, if it was supposed to be a project, a stepping stone for families to move in, have affordable income, and then be able to move out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you ever look at the dynamics of where projects are, you usually have about 10 to 15 families on one floor.
Right.
About anywhere from 10 to 15 floors. You probably got 1,000 people on one floor. 15 floors, forget it. The numbers get a little crazy. You give them limited resources, limited jobs, limited everything. And then it's like, yo, how you gonna survive?
Make it. Pull yourself up out of the
Yeah, how you gonna? Right, we gonna give you this $200 rent, but we ain't gonna give you nothing else. We taking everything else away. And when I sat there and I looked at the situation, I'm like, if you took a bunch of rats or any type of animal, and you took them and you put them in a box, a confined area, and you got 50 rats, you drop 3 pieces of cheese. Survival of the fittest.
Right.
They're gonna kill each other trying to get to that cheese. And when we sit there and we look at that situation, when we look at the projects, I grew up in Spanish Harlem. From First Avenue, straight across all the way to the west side, from 112th to 115th, there is a division of just project buildings going from one side of Manhattan to the other. And I'm like, you know, I never really paid attention to it growing up. It was like, the project, you know. But when you grow up and you see certain things, it's like, holy crap.
Right.
But there are liquor stores. There's 4 liquor stores, one on every corner of the projects.
Yeah. We live, like, it's complete. Let's be completely real. We live in an infrastructure that is made for us to not accomplish. Now, black folk, I believe that I say we are magicians because we find loopholes. That's what we do. We are the loophole finders to being able to still accomplish in a society that says, not only do we not want you to succeed, we don't want you to live long.
Yeah.
Forget trying to graduate and open a business. Like, your life expectancy is in our hands. That's the ideals, and it's an undercurrent in America that, yeah, y'all may have built this our shit. And we gonna either play by our rules or we gonna get you however we have to, and whether it's mass incarceration, killing, disappearances. You know, there's so many things that's going on in America that unfortunately a lot of black folk are unaware of. It's like they only know what they see. It's like the media, I be like, not to like water it down, it's like, yeah, but the things that we don't know about and the things that's going on behind those closed curtains, like the things that's on television is almost like pales in comparison to what's actually going on. Like, there's still segregation going on in America where you literally, a black person cannot have a deed to buy a house in a certain area. Like that, it's still a lot of things going on in place that are lawful. Like, this is not going against the law. Like Jim Crow, that was lawful. It was perfectly fine to say, you go in the back, you can't drink here, you can't eat here. So, I mean, like I said, black people have this spirit of perseverance that's unparalleled. You can't beat a person that is told you're going to lose but win anyway. You can't beat that. But, you know, you have to know your enemy. You have to know it's like playing chess. You got to stay like 2 steps ahead. Like, I got to know how you thinking so I know how to move. That's just what it is.
But I think one of the biggest things that us as people, society tells us that our worst enemy is our own people.
Which is crazy.
And we sit there and we take what society says and we're like, well, you look like me. But it's not true.
Right. It's not true.
If you enlighten your people, because what it is that, remember, mental slavery has been going on for years, centuries. And what they did was they put us against each other from the jump. Right. Remember when they used to put them boxing? They used to put black men inside a ring fighting each other until one is gone and one is passed out. So that's going on, keep on going. You understand what I'm saying? But what you can do is start enlightening each other, teaching each other. Like, hey man, we don't have to live like this. It's the reason why they have us like this. Right. There's something that they truly afraid of. If we accomplish this, look all the people that we celebrate, what they did for us, and what are we doing to keep that going?
And the whole, the Willie Lynch letter, I don't know if you actually read the actual letter, but long story short, he was brung in because the lynchings of the Africans were ruining the crops. So they said that we need a new way to make sure they abide. And they use psychological warfare. And he said that this will last generations. For me to feel uncomfortable with my people, for me, that's crazy. Thank God I was taught different. Like, how is somebody that look like me, think like me, come from the same cloth as me, is my enemy? Nah, you my people. We may have disagreements, but that's anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's anybody walking this earth. We're going to have disagreements. But I don't look at you as an enemy. I don't look at you as somebody that I can't kick it with or build with or grow with. Like, that's what, when black people are together, the amount of things that we built a nation. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Black Wall Street was the Black Wall Street right there. And they talk about it. But it's very faint. It's like Black Wall Street.
Exactly. And then let's shut up.
Let's talk
Let's
about
not
this.
teach them how that started.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Let's not talk about how that was the first attack on U.S. soil against U.S. citizens. Like, that's what it was.
No, it's like, just like you said, Black Wall Street. Well, let's talk about...
let's talk about the new whatever, the Uber deal or whatever, whatever the hell is going on.
Right.
And to me, we always, there's always that crabs in a barrel mentality that they say that we have. But if that one crab gets to the top of that barrel and decides to just turn around and reach down, the game is totally different. That's it.
It's over.
All it takes is that one. Hey, yo, grab the one next to you. Yo, we about to conga line out this barrel because we out of here because we don't belong in this barrel.
Know that. And I do see sprinklings of the reaching back. That is, but I see sprinklings like Jay-Z and Meek Mill. that whole thing where he made sure that he put in laws to enforce. They're trying to put in laws to enforce to stop, and putting people in jail for like petty things when you got real things going on. Like it's sprinklings of like black people trying to come together now. I believe that the enlightenment has finally started to settle in. Because it's always been going on. I mean, we could go back to Emmett Till and Rodney King, Amadou Diallo, all of these cases where these black men were slain, even black women, what they don't talk about. There's 48,000 black women missing in America. 48,000 just missing. Now, if that was any other race, there would be, security.
You
have a whole board around the world.
There would be
milk cartons.
Helicopters. We wouldn't even be able to speak because of the commotion. But because it's black women, it's not looked at,
why are they missing? Think about what strength of a black woman comes.
Right.
What she is born and birthed with.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
You
You gotta
understand. So you take away the woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like
There's
population control.
Yeah,
Right.
there's so many things that happen with that. There's certain things just in society that they promote in our communities, and not that I have a problem with the LGBT community,
right.
but
Right.
but that's something that if you look at certain things, they promote a lot in our communities, and it's like, do it, do it. Yeah, but if we're doing that, then we can't reproduce.
No.
Right.
And that's it.
No.
So now we're not making babies. So now there's less of us.
Right.
And in that same cultural diversity class, I found out the true meaning of what a minority was. And a minority has nothing to do with numbers. It has to do with the ability to have control. And it was that day that I read that, they was like minority group leader. So basically, it was a leader of a group of people that don't have control of themselves. I said, what the hell? Like, this is what they're saying, and we're sitting here, we're listening to this day in and day out, and it's like, minority group leader. It's like, yo, bro, you can't, you're not even, what are you leading? You starting all messed up. Like, it's not going nowhere, and it's because the lack of education.
That should give you the key word to it.
Because we're the majority when it comes to numbers.
We're all over the place. But see, and that's the thing. Like, I believe you are what you speak. So if you're constantly telling yourself you're a minority, that you're starting off incorrectly, sweetheart. You have to look at yourself as the majority. I am a person that I don't see myself. Of course, I'm a black woman in America, but I'm a black woman first. America is just where I happen to be at. That's not going to stop anything on how I act, on how I move. I'm knowledgeable of where I come from. And it's not coming from slavery or disenfranchised people. I come from a strong people. I come from a proud people. I come from people that is willing to do whatever they have to do to make it to the top. And I keep that with me. That's something that's embedded in me. My mother, my aunts, they made sure that I knew, honey, you're a queen. And never allow anybody to demean you or make you feel less than, because it's going to come. Even if I was just a woman, that's going to come. It comes with the territory of being a black woman. You have to be like twice as fast, twice as smart. It's just a part of the DNA. You have to have it innate in you. But I believe that when we grow, we learn. Some of us learn.
Yes.
Some.
Some of us learn.
That is the truth.
Sometimes you want to be like you, but it's just
But it's wisdom, and that's what I think. Just like, because I used to go to protests and all of that, very much so. But I was like, you know what? I think the scary thing about what it is when we're like doing this behind closed doors. They're like, let them protest. We can see them.
Yeah.
Once we get behind closed doors, that's why they had a problem with the Black Panther Party. When we start talking behind closed doors, y'all go ahead and protest and yell in the street. We're going to go and have a meeting. You know what I'm saying? And that's when things start to, even the things that the Black Panther Party did back in the day. WIC is there in school lunches because of the Black Panther Party. WIC is because of the Black Panther Party.
That's who invented it. That's who invented it.
But that's not what is projected.
Of course not. Right? Of course
it's
not.
They will never tell you.
But you know what makes it what makes it so bad? You will hear another person of your people say, "Oh, you get WIC, huh?" why are you down in that person?
My people
don't you know
fought
where
for
it
that.
came? Right. You don't know where it why it was made. Do you know the background, sweetie? Before you just let's research. Let's read.
And during that time, speaking of
know
Black
your
Panthers,
history. That's just the most.
there was a
important
movie
thing.
called Panthers. It didn't say Black Panthers. It was titled Panthers, and it was about the Black Panther movement. But it focused a lot on how the government conspired to destroy the Black Panther movement. And as we were talking about the projects earlier and Black Panthers, they took a convicted drug dealer, basically brought in drugs from Cuba and those places, gave it to people that look like us, that injected it into these projects, these communities, to destroy our people. Because that's how dangerous we were to them back then. Instead of saying, yo, you know what, maybe we gave it. No one ever looks at the fact that the only reason why we're fighting so hard is because you pushed us against the wall.
Yes.
So we need to survive.
That's right.
So now we're going to come out swinging. And when we come out swinging, don't get mad when we make contact.
That's right.
Like, look, oh, it hit. When I hit you, it hurt, right? Yeah. Well, what you thought you was doing to me?
Doing indoors like y'all did indoors. We outdoors. We gonna show you what it is.
That's right.
We had enough. Enough is enough.
That's right.
And that's what we have to look at. Enough is enough.
That's right.
How many more people we gonna see on television dying? How many of our children are gonna go down in the ground? Right. How many children are gonna get the chance to build their own business or get an education?
Right.
Huh? And speaking of that, I want to ask you ladies a question.
Yes.
Because we got these Democratic and independent candidates.
Homeschooling.
And
homeschooling.
Right. This is something that I noticed recently, and it has to do with Bloomberg. And this black
my knuckles for this one, 'cause I already know.
Mama, I see that, baby. I'm down. We ready.
And this black objective. And I'm like, is he really, like, is nobody really paying attention to what's going on here?
Yeah.
And he says something about, we're going to make sure X amount of black families get homes or purchase their own homes. Now, me, I've owned homes, I was a landlord, I've done all these things. And the American dream is to buy a home and live in debt for the rest of your life.
That's what I'm saying.
So you are telling the world, America, I'm going to take X amount of black families and I'm going to put them in debt for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
Just so that they have the illusion of success.
That they moved on up to the east side. Let me tell you something.
Yes, go share my business, please.
Because I already knew. I've been hearing it. I think it's very cute.
There you go.
This is the reality. We live in a space. America was built off the backs of disenfranchised, encaged, enslaved people, where it was lawful to do it. Now, when he talk all that house stuff, see, so you know, got to be very specific. Just like you said, I'm like, okay, how much mortgage are they going to be able to pay off that house in cash? How long is the mortgage going to be? Are you going to hit them with a 30-year mortgage where their grandkids will still have to be making payments? I need specifics, and I need written documentation. Because that sounds good for some, just like you said, when somebody is coming from a space where they just trying to get out. Because most people, you know, we love the hood, but at the same time, we want to get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? It's like it's a love-hate type of thing. So you can be like, yeah, we're going to get you a house. And sometimes these black folk, we don't really... Some of them don't really know what it entails to have a house, like the steps of owning a home. So they're like, hell yeah. But then they get it and they get all this documentation. Like, wait a minute, this is a whole vanilla envelope. I need what is all of these papers? I didn't know that I was going to be having to pay this off to 3001. Like, what's happening? You know what I mean? So that's what I need. I need specifics, very specific. Don't just say, I'm going to get everybody a house. In what detail, how long are these people going to be paying off these homes? And what type of black people?
Right.
What black people.
It won't be low income.
Are you specifically
Exactly
talking
my
about?
point.
Are you talking about middle class black folk, or are you talking about black folk who are on the low income?
Exactly.
Don't tell me that, oh yeah, Bethany and John, who are already on their way of owning a house, is getting a house. Hook some people up that really, you know what I'm saying, that even the homeless, or, you know, 1 bedroom living with 5 people, like, those are the people that really, you know what I mean, hook those people up. Make sure that they have what they need entirety, so they're not in debt for the rest of their lives, and they can live comfortably. You know, those loose terms of just, it's like, I feel like you said, it's like throwing a couple of cheese slices in
Yeah, it's
the
like,
Exactly.
you like,
Go right in and
and
trap.
Let me get you a cheese sandwich. You see how you scramble. Nah.
and what people don't realize is that when you buy a home, you don't own the land.
Right.
You don't own the land.
Right.
So the city
Learn
can
how
come
to
through and say, yo, you
own
know
the
what?
land.
You gotta move your house, or
Period.
we just taking it.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
it's just. I bought a home that was near the highway, but I bought it after they did whatever, and it was out in Rosedale, Queens, the end of the Belt Parkway. They decided to bring it a little to the right, so they cut through the freaking bathroom.
Wow.
So because they went a little bit to the right, like about 10 feet, instead of having a rectangular bathroom, it was like half rectangle, half triangle,
Oh
half
my God.
whatever, like the most retarded shape.
Mm-hmm.
They had to cut the roof, reconstruct the whole back side of the house, like crazy. Just because somebody said go that way,
Right.
when you could have just went straight.
Right.
But you have no say so, no say so. And if they want the land, they'll say, yo, we're gonna relocate your whole house at whatever cost it is. We'll pay for this, but anything happen, the shit's on you, and
Right.
we're gonna do this, and we're gonna drop it here.
Yes.
Forget that all the sheetrock done broke apart,
Right.
your house shifted, your windows broke. You know, it's just so many things that people don't know. Don't know. Oh man.
Yeah.
I guess you didn't think the conversation was gonna go like this.
No, I love it though. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we got the videographers in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, they back there doing their thing. So I'm gonna play one song, and then we're gonna come back and we'll get back into some of your bodies of work,
Yes.
because we are at the 7 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm playing right now.
I'm new, I'm cool, ain't nobody can tell me what to do, you just got schooled. Okay, get it real, put your hands up in the sky. To rap on the mic, to like hold for one more, giving you what you came for. You see me chillin' on the ground, my family, mostly it be Makai and my daddy. Watch me, I'ma be the king of New York City. Really, catch me on the show, the whole series. Clearly, I'll be staying fly, fresh and flashy.
It's true, I'm cool, I'm fly. That's why I'm gonna win. All for understand. It's true, I'm cool, I'm fly. That's why I'm gonna win. I'm world, understand.
Fly up in the sky, flying in the sky, way too fly, half 3, too fly, that's why I'm gonna win. I'm grinding too hard, no stopping me. 2019's my year, taking over. You gotta understand with this mic in my hand. Grow hard is a brand, and my dad is the man. He put it all together, he made me. When my mother thanks for my life, my birthday's in September. And since I can remember, he's always been there. Positive role model, 2008, my birth year, yeah.
It's the horse on his head, we the best, don't forget. On the record with my kids, I'm the father of the clique. It's the horse on his head, we the best, don't forget. On the record with my kids, I'm the father of the clique. It's the horse on his head, we the best, don't forget. On the record with my kids, I'm the father of the clique. It's the horse on his head, we the best, don't forget. On the record with my kids, I'm the father of the clique. It's true, I'm cool, I'm fly. That's why I'm gonna win. All 3, you understand. It's true, I'm cool, I'm fly. That's
Yo. Yo, you already know who it is. It's your boy Prophet Pete, and we back. We back. Yeah, I think there was a song. Who was that? What was that? Like Mace or somebody? We're back or Welcome Back. Welcome back. Yeah. Yes, see? So, I know a little bit about music. Just a smidgen. You know? Yes, I'm in radio and I know not much about music. But it's cool. So what we're going to do is we need to wow the listeners and the viewers with some more of that talent that you ladies have.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why not?
This one. You want to sing for us too? Now let me start. You know me. I'm always putting somebody in the spot.
You singing tonight?
I may do a little something.
Oh,
a little dabble. But I'm gonna okay. So I'll do a piece called "Real Niggas Need Love Too."
Yo, we do. I'm telling you. Yo, she ain't even start. I'm just saying. Yo, I get real love. Yo, real love. Oh.
But
what?
Here's the booty. I'm talking about myself being a real nigga.
Oh, damn. That's all right. I can afford. I can sit there. I can adopt it, though.
And the reason why I love explaining the title is because of this. Being a black woman in America, especially from New York, we are, whether it's directly or indirectly, raised to be very strong. Sometimes so strong that you have to take a step back and be like, yo, especially like when you're in a relationship, there's been times like you know, people like, damn, kid, you're like, I'm the man. Like, I'm like
let me sit myself.
Like, string your Timbs up, shorty. Like, it's okay. And I've had to be like, kind of like, I'm learning how to be a little softer and vulnerable now. And it doesn't, I think, because I'm a woman, they think it comes instantaneously, and it really doesn't. It is a work. It is diligent work to be soft and vulnerable. Because coming out here, you know, being soft will get you hurt.
You get ate up and spit out.
Even as a woman, like, dudes think, but women are vicious too. So
no, women are more vicious than men. Yo, I've seen it. Oh boy.
Yes.
So that hardness, you know, sometimes it has to be, you know, it has to dissipate, and that's why I wrote "Real Niggas Need Love Too." So I'm gonna get into it.
Y'all ready?
Yo, I said he made me feel unreal. You know, like I really didn't exist. And this vibe and that kiss, not even Eagle could resist all this, and he must be Ken the Hendrix. How he had me in the haze. We had I'm from the Bronx, but it's rib type thing, and my body was laid down as an atlas so he could at last find himself. For he was a lost one. Didn't know where he wanted to be on some Donald Jones shit, but knew he felt right at home when he was up inside me, so yeah, you could say he had his walls up. But he knew mine were much tighter. And yeah, I admit, I still miss how limbs would cover continents, but oh, how we differ on what forever actually is. And I would love how our conversation would go deep into sex with beautiful minds meant that man used to whet my intellect. But now I'm here stuck with bittersweet memories and regret. Sitting back blaming myself like, yo, how I fall for a dude who is steady tripping. Who wouldn't even take the time out to get to know his own demons by name. That all that I love you to death, well homie, guess what? I'm still breathing, shit was in vain, and you never had to remind me of my position. You called me your queen. And I was willing to protect us by all and any means, but now you got me feeling like committing a bishop. Cause you know I got that juice. Everything good left in me revolved around you, but now I'm telling you, yo homie, we gonna have to square up. But try to talk me into circles. And I ain't had the foresight to see, or that was gonna occur. My name ain't Urkel, and yeah, I wanna hurt you. Just like you did me. It took some time to peep that the enemy wasn't the inner me, but the man I allowed to enter me, but you still still don't see what you've done to me. And why would you? I always lie. 2 weeks ago, he hit me up on some, hey girl, how you doing? And I simply replied, yo, you know me. A real nigga, fine. Thank you. Yes! Yes! I see you, Mom. I see you, girl. You raised a good one. I'll tell you that, girl. Woo. Yes.
Okay.
Woo, she had me in my feelings like, what? About to knock everything down. Girl, listen, because it's real nigga shit.
Yo.
What?
It's real.
I don't even listen. I was just with this away because...
Yo, she was about to catch a bishop like yo, like word, cause she got that juice. Yo, I'm telling you.
But that's the thing, though.
How you fall for somebody that stays steady tripping? Like, how that happen?
Yo, girl, you okay. Yo, you don't understand. I was about to say amen.
Somebody call it. Let's see who this is. Yo, you are on air with Prophet Pete on Prophet Radio. Who you want to talk to?
Hey, we lit. I have a question for Kenny if she's still there.
Yeah, she here.
Yeah, I'm here. What's
Hey,
up?
what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Yo, my name is Will. You feel me? More affectionately known as Canvas Killer. How y'all doing?
Hey,
what up?
Hey, Canvas. What's poppin'?
What up? Yeah, so, you know, I recently had the honor of watching Kenny perform recently, man. And I wanted to ask her specifically about her delivery. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to ask, you know what I'm saying, especially since I definitely realized a lot of moments watching you perform where, you know, there are moments where the crowd has to react to something that you've said. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause your performances are really bar heavy. So I just want to know how much consideration do you take in your writing process in order to make, you know, time for people to process what you're saying.
Okay, so my writing process, I'm a bar-y girl. I love bars.
Yeah.
Like, I love the cleverness of a bar. Like, I think you could say anything is how you say it, and we brought up.
Yeah.
So I think I write in this fashion of what I like to hear. That's my writing style. Like, if it was someone else other than myself, I would be like, that's dope. And until I get to that space, if I don't get to that space where that's dope, even if I'm not saying it, then I know that's not it. As soon as I feel that way, like, yo, if this was coming out another mouth, I would be like, yo. Then I'll be like, I got it. That's the one. So yeah, that's my writing process. I just write from the space that what I like to hear. Yeah.
For sure. Hell yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Will.
All right, Will.
Hey, no doubt.
Thank you for calling, brother.
Hey, for sure, man. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Yo,
look at that. Yo, sis. Like, I didn't know if I was like listening to poetry or she was like rapping at the same time.
She remind me of Queen, like some Queen Latifah back in the day, ladies first. Like, I was about to say, where the chick come from? Like, come on.
Everybody says that. They be like, do you battle rap? I'm like, no, I don't.
Well, look, you sing.
But you could, though.
You could, thank you. You need to sing and put a little verse in it, too. You good.
Thank you.
You are good on, yes. Where you from? I'm sorry.
What happened?
Where you from?
Oh, I'm from the Bronx, but I live in Harlem.
Listen. Well, nice to meet you. I'm from Brooklyn. I didn't think you from the Bronx. For real.
Well, you know, she was told to strap her Timbs up. You know, that's how I knew she was from the Bronx. She was from the Bronx, like strap your Timbs up. Yeah, man.
But you know, it's crazy when you come from a strong woman.
Yes.
There's no doubt of who you are.
That's right.
You know, and that's the most important thing. Like I said, women are very important in society. And when you have that, man, that's the best feeling ever.
Yeah. I come from a lineage of strong women. Well, gonna get to like sometimes crazy women, but yeah, I come from women that's like, I'm gonna check you, then ask questions later.
Right.
Even if I ask a question, I come from that. So it's
right.
It was just passed down. It's passed down strength. Passed down.
Amen.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some real talk. May, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes,
She got me. Shoot. That's how I gotta come listen with some hardcore, like, I was trying to be all gentle and stuff. Jesus. This poem here, this is something I was feeling when I was younger, when I wanted someone to hear me. And the title is, You Didn't Hear Me. I poured out my soul to you, my dreams, but you were too blind to see. I wanted you to be proud of me, but instead you ignore my abilities to be all that I can be. It felt like a bullet hit my soul. I promised myself I wouldn't fold. How could you be so cold? I had to hold my own. You didn't hear me crying out. I guess my silence wasn't loud enough. But I had to lay you to rest so I can be my best. See, God was putting me through a test. Victory is all I can see. And like a bee, I would sing humbly, like the great Muhammad Ali. I would knock out all my insecurities. And like a champ, I won this round. You didn't hear me when I said, at the end, I will hold the crown. That was it.
Okay. So everybody got bars. Prophet here trying to figure it out.
But Prophet, you could do one right now. Stop saying.
I could, but nah, I don't want to, I'm just saying. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday? Oh, wait.
I say stuff like that for Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. When the mic come down from the ceiling.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Right, Jay?
You got bars.
I got bars.
Okay.
I got bars. I hit you with the 1-2, pop, and then I walk off. I just walk over and be like, tune, and make sure you tune in next week. That's it. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Yo, you gotta do it. You gotta keep them guessing all the time. Yeah. So, as far as your poetry, how far do you see it going? Where do you want it to go? Do you see yourself on bigger platforms, or even publishing more of your work?
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely not doing this. This is not like a hobby.
Right.
The goal is for me to be a full-time artist. I'm working on a play right now, writing a play. I'm working on writing a book right now. So it's just everything creative. I have ideas for other things. I'm gonna do a screenplay. I'm actually writing the play with that gentleman right there.
Hello.
Hey, gentleman over there.
Hello.
We're writing a play together, and I want to do a screenplay, and I think that writing lends itself to so much.
Yes. People
write, wedding vows, and they write eulogies. There's like so much vastness in between. Like writing is everywhere. Your favorite movie, somebody wrote it.
Yes.
Your favorite sitcom, somebody wrote it. Your favorite stand-up, somebody wrote it. Your favorite kid story, somebody wrote it. Like the possibilities are endless. But definitely to be a full-time artist.
Even the parking ticket you got
Even
yesterday,
like
somebody wrote it. I'm telling
That's
you.
poetry. The reaction people get.
You'll be like, oh, wait a minute. Yes.
Like the theatrics that happen after that. That's art right there.
Yes, because that's so emotional. That's you see all the emotion come out. Yes.
Especially if you live in New York.
Right.
Yeah, but
those
definitely.
tickets is hefty.
Right.
I was some people ready to take off their coats. I was like, y'all better take that ticket off their coat. It's on. Or jump in your car. One of the two.
And they be looking for it like
happy. Yes.
Is that too?
I mean, I don't drive, but I've seen it.
Yo, there's this one lady. Her last name is Santiago.
That you just shot
Like,
out.
yo, for real, no lie. No lie, because, I live in Spanish Harlem. So, parking regulations is just crazy over there, right? So, and I leave for work early in the morning. and there's certain areas where you got to move your car by 6 o'clock. She's already driving down the block 601, ready. She's sitting there waiting for the alternate side of the street joint.
Wow.
And she sit there and she give you 1 minute. And then she start driving down the block. Yo, she hops out like, yo, she be scared. Like, I'm like, yo, like, how you move that?
That's what she's saying. Throw
How she move that quick? Like, I'm like, yo. At one point, I'm like, yo, you just wait for me not to be at my car because you always there, like always at my car.
Right.
And I said, man, listen.
Yeah.
But like, everybody in the neighborhood know her. Everybody in the neighborhood know her. They just like, yo, Santiago, man. And she does one of these. And then gets in the car because you can't do nothing about it.
What you want me to do, Poppy? This is
Yeah,
my job. Like,
yo, that's my job. You should have moved your car. Then they point at the sign like, I ain't seen the shit when I parked. Like, I know. There was no parking. So yeah. Now, I want to ask you ladies a question. And, I always feel history repeats itself. And I grew up in an era where to reach your 18th birthday was a big thing. And, as I got older, I realized that it didn't happen as much. Like, things changed or whatever. So the young black kids were living a little longer. But I feel now that it's back to that, if you reach 18, you lucky again.
yes.
It's weird. What do you think about that? Because we just had a lot of artists that they might not be getting killed by somebody, but because they don't deal with things in certain ways or they don't have that support, they're dying before their 21st birthday.
I believe death comes in different fashions.
Yes.
I believe that there are a lot of people that may be alive but dead in different ways, whether it be emotionally or financially. Some people are just surviving. There's life and then there's living. If you're not living and you're just alive, for me, there's I say it's a bit. I call it pain in the pocket, but it's a bit of death in your life.
Yes.
Because you're not living it. You're just getting to day by day. And I think that everybody's been there. I've definitely been in a space where I'm like, yo, you talking about my future. I'm just trying to get through the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody, I believe, that's come from a certain space where you like, yo, I'm just trying to make it. You feel that. Now, there's a graduation from that, but some people never graduate.
Yes.
I mean, you see, like, what was his name? Tamir Rice. Babies being killed. Babies. 12, babies being killed. Babies. Where, how could he be a threat? It's sad, but like I said, death, it comes on different dishes. You can see a 65-year-old man who's lived, a nice life, but he never accomplished what he thought he was going to accomplish. And his speech is death. Yeah. He don't dream anymore. He doesn't have any goals or aspirations. To me, that's death. Like, how you don't dream no more.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's just death looks different for me for different people.
Like, for me, you saying that, I was in a situation where the person that I was with, her thing was, I just want to go to work, come home, climb into bed, and just do that until I retire, and that's it. And that was rough for me,
right?
Because one, I'm like, why would you want to do that?
Right.
And then also, I'm a dreamer,
right?
So it's like, why would you just want to do that? Like, the world has so much more to offer than just that. Like, I was told recently, and I've known it for a long time, I can't work for nobody. I'm the worst employee ever. Yeah. I'm a great worker, but I'm very combative.
Right.
And if you push the wrong button, trust and believe, you gonna see the most resilient motherfucker you ever seen in your life. I
feel you on that.
I will stand in a burning building and like, yo, I'm not leaving till I get what I want. And that's me. And that's me. And that's who I am. So I've been in situations where I'm like, there's so much more than just doing what going to work.
Somebody tells you to do.
Yeah, somebody, like, I've started many businesses. The station I started because of me seeing something that I can do to help others give their voice out to the world. And it was just one of those things. And it was like, I was at a station, they closed. I was like, well, I'm not just going to let this stop. Let me figure out how to get this done. And I did it. And from tattoos to owning a tattoo shop to designing t-shirts to doing those things, why would you just want to just do that? And the worst saying that I hear so much that drives me crazy is, I'm living my best life. You're not living your best life. You don't even know what that means. Like, what does that mean? I'm living my best life. I heard that from somebody, and I'm like, but you come home and you sit on the couch, and you look miserable. Like, oh my gosh, like, what's wrong with you? Why? Because you bought a Louis bag and you drive a nice car. That's not life. That's not life. For me, living life is, I love my kids. I got all girls. So, you know, those poems work. So, I'm telling you, I got all girls. So, you know what they say about guys that go to all girls, right? So, I'm telling you, those poems is working. I was doing my thing, right?
That's what they say, punishment, some crap they used to say.
No, but it's not really punishment.
No,
for me,
it's not.
It's not. Well, when they go through their little I like boy phase, I'll be like,
yeah, you gotta.
Like, I got one that she just turned 12, and I'm like, okay, yeah, she's
come to that stage,
she's doing some things, and I'm like, oh. But I know when she gets older, the bond in the relationship that we're gonna have is different, because I have one of my oldest is 22, she'll be 23 next week, and when she went through that phase, it was a headache. Like, she gave me freaking headaches. But today we are so close that it's a blessing. So.
Because she knows your dad.
Yeah.
That's how important.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
To a woman's life.
Yeah.
Because she knows, like, I had my daddy. Like, that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
To answer your question, about what's going on with the youth now, I can tell you from my experience, I went through a phase of mental illness. And what it is, I feel you got to know yourself. You got to know the importance of yourself. It was a time, like you said, how she wanted to come home and just work and go. She wasn't living. She wasn't feeling that she deserved more than what life was giving her. Because I got a dark place in my life where I didn't want to do anything else.
Oh, but she still does that to this day.
And then she doesn't see the bigger picture of why you should live and experience every moment of your life. Like, for the children now, is that what they seen constantly is nothing but negativity. You understand? Yeah, you can have money. Yeah, you can have this car. Yeah, you can have this house. But are you happy inside? Because when you're happy inside, you can amount to great things. You understand? I had to learn that personally. This is why I'm sitting here now. Because I never thought that I would be here. See, when you see the bigger picture of your purpose, you start to see a bigger perspective of life in itself and within yourself. So that's when you become alive. And what it is, society is missing that. This is why you see so much murder. This is why you see so much people committing suicide. Because they feel like, if I show this, I'm a sucker. Not too many people want to hear your problems no more. You understand? They're not teaching you how to live life and how to breathe life. Remember, when we kids, we're innocent. We're living.
Yeah.
We're living. We're not thinking about, do I love myself today, or this or that? We're living. And I think with that is, you got to be in tune with yourself. You got to know what your purpose is. Like, I'm going to be real with you. I wanted to take my life because what I was going through. What I was going through. And this is when I was a kid until like 3 years ago. You know, I went through a point in my life where I lost my daughter. My son survived. I lost my sister behind that. You know, like year after year, I was getting hit with the people that I loved losing. Then I was going through my own life crisis. But once I realized, like, okay, I'm still walking here and breathing here. Why the hell I'm not living? I can heal from this. Because one thing you got to do, you got to heal. You got to heal from, you remember, after generations, it's all you see now is nothing but negativity. How can you live in negativity? You're drained.
Yeah, living in negativity really takes a lot from you. It takes a lot.
It takes a lot from me. And I'm telling you, I was getting sick. I was getting sick. I was getting attacks out of nowhere. I could be laughing with you, next you know, boom, it hits me. And that's because I needed to deal with what I needed to deal with. I needed to see a sign that said, you here. You lasted this long. Let's live. Now I look at the sky. Man, I live in the projects. I look out my window and I'll be thankful to look out my window. I'll be thankful to even come home to my children. I have a 17-year-old, a 13, and a 4-year-old. I've been taking care of them by myself. They have their fathers there, but to be with them daily, it's a different type of feeling. You got to be an example. You got to teach them now. You got to live. This hanging out or what you see on TV ain't living. Living is when you can go on vacation, keep your feet in, and feel that sand and be in peace. Being at peace, man, you're so alive. And that's just what it is now.
I think that we spend more time attempting to escape than we do dealing.
Yes.
And that's just piggybacking off of what she said. Most people don't want to heal.
No.
They want to feel good.
Yes.
Right, for the
Healing,
moment.
right, for the moment. Healing requires more pain. When you're already in pain, the last thing you want to do is feel
pain.
more pain.
Yes.
But healing requires, like, think about somebody shooting you in the kneecap. Right?
That really,
we had
to do the kneecap, like, in the kneecap. That's that Bronx stuff right there. See, that's the way y'all do it in the Bronx. Okay. You gonna remember me. You gonna remember me forever.
Think about it like that. I like to think about emotional healing the same way as physical.
Yes, ma'am.
When you're healing physically, it's gonna hurt. That first step out that bed, you may hit the floor. You're not just gonna hop, skip, and do the heel toe out that bed, huh? You gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn how to walk again. And it's just like emotionally, it's a rethinking, a reprogramming has to be done. A lot of unlearning has to be done, and then like replacing. It's the removal and replacing. It's easy to kick people out your life like, yo, I ain't messing with you no more. What you gonna replace that with? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. It's like the constant shuffling of, I gotta take this out, but I have to replace it. Because idleness, that's when our minds start to raise. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of you. But now I gotta replace that time I was spending with you or that thing with something positive that's giving me life and not sucking it out of me.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know people that used to like to just go on vacation, right? And it was like we could be in turmoil. Your life could be upside down. Oh, I'm gonna go on vacation because I want to feel better. And to me, I looked at it as, but you going on vacation to come back to the same stuff. Why would you even go? Like, it's more stressful to go. And when you go on vacation, I'm sorry, you spend money because you're caught up in the moment.
Right.
So it's like you're living outside of your reality at the time. So you're spending. You come back, you're like, I'm here, I want to have a good time. You come back, you get a $5,000 credit card bill for 3 days. And you're like, yo, now you extra stressed. Now what you was trying to get away from going to work, now you're doing overtime to pay the bill that's due. And you in a worse place than you was when you should have just dealt with what was going on instead of trying to run from it.
Yes.
My grandma used to say, no matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah.
You cannot run away from who you are and what you're going through. It will be in your back pocket.
Yes, ma'am.
No matter what. And that's why you see a lot of people that seemingly on the outside looking, and it's like, yo, you got it all, and they're taking their own lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you got money? That's the first thing that we all say. Like, you got money. You got money. Like, how are you not happy? But it's crazy. Like, money does not equate to happiness. No. You're comfortable. You'll be crying in a mansion and not a shack. But you'll still be crying. Yes.
And there's a lot of empty rooms in that mansion.
And then let me say, that would get to you more. It would get to you so. And I say that because I had moved to Ohio. It was just me and my younger son. And when you have that space and you have not dealt what you dealt with, that's worse. Yes.
It's like I'm really alone.
Oh, right.
You're like, holy crap! It just amplified.
Yeah, it's like echoes. It would hit you. It would like haunt you. Like, yeah. Because even when you're around people and you're not happy, you could be around 1,000 people. Remember, people wear masks every day. Right. I had friends that be like, yo, you so positive, tip, and didn't know I go home and just ball down. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that was just because I never wanted to put my misery on no one else. Right. So what I did was I spoke of positive things, you know, and it was just like, as long as they happy, I'm cool. But I went home crying. Then I was like, how can I make people happy and I can't make myself happy? Right. Something is wrong. Right. And you gotta dig deep. Living in this world, man, I'll tell people, love yourself. Mm-hmm. Know yourself. Learn yourself. Learn your history. Because then you'll be able to live. Now I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect, but you'll learn how to calmly handle stuff. Because if you continue to put Band-Aids, you're not really healing. Because when a Band-Aid comes off, you still got that.
And if you know, when you put a Band-Aid on, it kind of holds in moisture. So it takes the situation longer to heal anyway.
There you go.
Right? So it's like now you got a wound that should have healed last week. But because you're just trying to cover it up, now it's still there 3 weeks later. Right. Mm-hmm. When you could have just, you could have let it air out and handle your shit. Right. And damn, now y'all got me looking at Band-Aids different.
Hold up. But if you healed yourself inside, they gonna heal like this, baby. Right. That's all. Take care of yourself. The more you take care, it's like, listen, everything comes from your mental, right? Everything comes from your gut. So what you put in, you feel inside. You understand? You have to know everything comes within yourself. So you gotta take care of yourself inside, because whatever you're not taking care of the inside, eventually it's gonna deteriorate you down. You know, if people say, "Oh, I'm healthy," are you mentally healthy? Are you physically healthy? Are you emotionally healthy? You could be physically healthy, but it doesn't mean that you're spiritually healthy.
You all jacked up.
You're all jacked up.
And you know that mental health can actually manifest other physical sicknesses. Yes. Just because you're not able to cope. Like I know of people that, because they're not mentally healthy, they cause the stress levels and everything else cause other things like stomach problems and just all types. You develop ulcers and things like that. The stress put so much strain on your body, your heart attacks, blood pressure, all this stuff, just because you can't wrap your mind around why you so jacked up. Right. You're jacking yourself up even more. Yes. And it's crazy. And I don't know how we can ever get the message out to our people, because for our people to even say, yo, there's something wrong with me, I need to sit down with somebody, I need to talk to somebody, it's considered a sign of weakness where we're from.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't think it is. When I sat down with a therapist, I was like, yo, look, I got something to say.
Listen, man.
And I found out so much about myself that it was like, yo. Yes. And it wasn't that I was depressed. I was just, at the time, I was going through something within my relationship. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know why it got there. Mm-hmm. And we went there as a couple, and then I ended up there by myself. Because she decided she wasn't going to go no more. And I'm like, but...
That was your blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it was.
Don't ever get it twisted.
It was, because I realized that in a relationship it takes two.
That's right.
And if two people are not willing to fight, you're no longer in a relationship.
Remember, it's not I, it's we.
We.
It's we.
And, you know, since I got two powerful black women sitting across from me, I got a question.
What's the question?
I got a question. Yeah, I got a question because, yo, sometimes y'all powerful black women be so strong that the strong black man be hotter in the fucking corner. Like, he really be out, like, you know why I ain't gonna say nothing.
There she go again.
Here we go. But how do you find that balance being in a relationship and being able to, because as you were speaking earlier, it's being a little softer and things like that.
So, I didn't have the strongest relationship with my father, and at this age, it's still kinda being repaired. I had to learn from some mistakes that I've made. I'll be honest. It wasn't like this, like enlightenment. Like I literally went through some things, and I put some, ex-boyfriends that I went through. I was through some things because asking me to be softer at that time was almost like asking me not to be who I am. Like if I get softer, then who's going to protect me? That was my mindset. It was not what I was saying. It was like, nigga, what? But that was in my heart. You know what I mean? I couldn't articulate that because even that is a sign of weakness. Like I'm not going to tell you that I'm afraid if I let my guard down that you won't protect me the way I feel like I need to be protected. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is like. Black women, yes, we are strong with, but I don't know let me tell you something. When you find a man and like a man that you can trust, I'm like, baby, be the man. Yes. It's sexy. Yes. Do your thing, boo. But I'm not going to say a lot. Some black women don't have that luxury. Some black women's like, look, I come from, a lot of women like, I'm hurt, but babies got to be fed. Dinner got to be cooked. Yes. Clothes got to be ironed. I gotta go to work, so they put their feelings on the back burner because everything else still has to operate. I don't have the luxury of having a breakdown because there's things that gotta be done regardless. So, trying to be soft, it's like, I'm telling you, it's like, it is a group thing. Like, honey, you have to give me a safe space to feel like I can be softer. If you're displaying, characteristics that's making me defensive, anybody's going to be defensive. That's like punching somebody in the face and be like, now give me a kiss. It doesn't make sense.
It just don't work.
That energy got to match. Like, you have to create that space for me to feel like I can put my guard down and be able to rely on you to be the man in the house. At this age, honey, I'm like, go ahead and be the man, boo.
Right. You get tired, like, when you hit late 30s, you're like, all right, baby. I follow your lead. I got you. You could be the man and I will be the woman. That's it. I believe that I believe the man is the head, but the woman is the heart. Yes. One cannot coexist without one another. It's a team effort. Partnership. But it has to be a team. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you can't expect me to be all soft and you soft too. Like, what's happening? When am I supposed to be soft? Like when you're slacking? But there's things that still need to be done. So what do you do? Treat me like a king. Act like one. Yes, and that's the point of it. Like she said, my father wasn't in my life like that. And the person I had in my life wasn't father-like. So it was just like, I basically had to learn. Like I said, I struggled with learning on my own. So what I feel like a strong woman, love, like I said, always love yourself. Find that balance in that man and love that man. Mm-hmm. Understand that it's never going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Always communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. Make sure that y'all see eye to eye. And let me be me and I'll let you be you. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Because if one is in the other, there's never going to be balance. Balance is very important. Mm-hmm.
Women tend to say that a lot. I don't know why. I don't know. I just I'm always around a lot of women all the time, and that sounded very wrong. It did. It sounded.
Because if you've been around a lot of women, my man, you should know what's up. Am I right? Yes. Am I right? You gotta know something.
But like my mother's side of the family, predominantly women, and when I tell you, I got like about 50 female cousins that live upstate. Damn. And then they have like 4, 5, 6 kids. And most of them or females.
Oh wow!
Even here at the station, there's only 2 male shows. All the other shows are run by women. So it's just like a thing, and this balance thing. Like I get it. I understand the balance, but I really don't understand the balance. But women tend to say that a lot. But I think when it comes to a relationship, everybody says communication is key. But I think
comprehension.
It goes a little further than comprehension, because if I don't understand what you're saying, and you don't understand me,
exactly.
And I'm good for saying, yo, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. And she would look at me, and I'm like, yo, I'm serious. Like, I really don't know. Like, I'm oblivious.
Don't rush into anything. Get to know a person. Get to know them when they're not saying something to you. Read their love language. Read their body when they're not saying something to you. Understand. Learn your person. Learn your partner. Understand your partner. You understand what I'm saying? So many people rush into wanting to be loved, to be in love. You have to be it. You have to understand.
There's certain things you won't even see until a certain situation.
That's why you take your time.
Right. But
yeah, don't get me wrong.
You could be together 15 years.
What happened with? Oh, this is your color. Oh, okay.
Yo, one day I might leave a toothbrush on this side of the sink. 15 years later, and she, wow, kicking in the door, talking about, yo, what did you? I'm like, what? What happened? She's like, the toothbrush. What happened?
And that's
and you know.
But see, when you start with somebody, you be like, alright, I'm gonna let him slide real quick.
Yeah, but
then after a while, you be like, babe, could you just
ain't no more slipping and sliding.
Could you put it to the side? And I told you once or twice, you better get it.
First time it happened, but there's certain things that people, and this goes for male and female, that until it happens again, you don't know how you're going to react to it.
And you know, in relationships, there's a lot of hues. There's a lot of hues and different waves of things. I think this is what I think a relationship is. You know, that it's effective communication, and you have to allow that person to speak their truth, even if I don't like it. Even if I'm looking at you like, okay,
that's that Bronx face. Yo, you got that Bronx face. Oh, that's that. Yo, I caught you on Fordham Road. You played too much.
And I've learned that. Like, it's very. I think one of the most respectful things you can do to someone in a relationship is listen.
Yes,
that's respect.
Yes,
like you telling me that you respect me, but you don't listen to me. You don't respect me. And it's respectful to like, yo, I may not like what you're saying. And what you're saying may not be making me feel good. That's what goes back to the responsibility thing. People are so afraid to not feel good in their relationship. Birth don't feel good, but it brings forth life.
Yes.
If we did everything that felt good, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? It felt good in the beginning, making it.
Right,
but coming forth, it don't feel too good.
Exactly.
You have to be responsible for your own emotions. Like, yo, you may not be making me feel good right now, but I don't mean I don't love you. Exactly. And then it doesn't mean that you don't love me. It just means that right now we're in the thick of things. And we got to talk this thing out. Yes. And it's not with me, myself, Lord. My mama tell you, I was there by, my friend called me, she called me Spalding, because I would bounce. Bounce? What? What happened? You did what? You said what? It don't even take much. Like, what? I don't like you today. It's Tuesday. The day after Monday, I'm out. Period. Like, no explanation, no talking. Like, I don't have to. And I was very like, I don't have to be with you. Whatever. But once you get older and you start to learn, like, that's toxic. It's not cute. It's toxic. You have to start taking more responsibility for your own actions and emotions. Yes. Like, I'm gonna listen, even if it's not making me feel good. You're not a clown. You're not, you're an actor where you're supposed to and everything you do is supposed to be appeasing me. Not in the point where I'm allowing you to be human. We're human at the end of the day. And even if it's something that's small to me, like, baby, I didn't mean it like that. It may be huge to you. And I had to allow you that space. Because if you're not talking to me, you want to talk to somebody else. Exactly. And then a couple of years, a couple of months, like, who is this? Who is Felicia? She a chick that was talking. She
know to listen.
She know
to listen.
Exactly.
Yo, who's Damien? He knows to listen.
Yes.
Yo, and it's the truth though, and I think one of the hardest things for people is the thing with people is a lot of people do not know how to listen.
No.
They listen to respond.
There you go. I say that all the time.
And it's like,
come on.
I would talk and I would have conversations with some people, and I would say something and their response had nothing to do with what the hell I was talking about. And I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Like,
that's what I go blame.
Like you heard the first 3 words, but nothing else, and then you responded based on that because now you was thinking of a response.
Right.
Like, I'm like, damn, man. And when you're in a relationship, that is the hardest thing. Because you're sitting there, you come home, you probably already stressed from work, you come in there, and you like, yo, baby, my boss did X, Y, Z, yo, I want to quit. And she's like, yo, we got bills we need to get paid. Like, that motherfucker trying to kill me today. Like, and you telling me we got bills to pay. I might not be here tomorrow fucking around with what he doing.
And that's the mindset.
Exactly.
I say it's a lawyer conversation and then this teammate conversation.
Yes,
when someone's in a team, even if it's a discourse, I'm going to listen to you because we're trying to win that, whatever it is. A lawyer, I'm only listening to the response. I am trying to interject, cut off, throw down exhibit A, B, C, and D to prove my point. And that's most of the times where people are coming from. We're not lawyers.
Exactly.
In a courtroom. My goal is not to prove I'm right.
Yes.
It's to make this right.
Yes.
And that's the team
Yes.
thing. Like, yo, I may not be feeling you right now, but this is not an exit. You know what I'm saying? We're still on the same team. I have to hear you out if we're trying to win. Now, of course, different views. It may be a situation like, this is done.
Yes.
I never want to speak to you again.
Yes.
And even in that, I feel like there's a healthy way to peace out.
Say bless.
Yeah.
It's a saying that says leave gracefully.
Right. Because it be the same people like, I hate you. 2 weeks later, I love you.
Got people calling your phone like, why are you doing that? What?
Tell him I love him. I was just praying and logging on Instagram.
Why are you breaking his heart? I'm breaking what? He's breaking his own. Like, seriously. 5 o'clock in the morning. Why are you breaking his heart? Got old brother calling me like, he broke his own heart when he did what he did, my man. But you know what? Bless.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta learn to detach when you need to detach from a situation.
Yes.
That is toxic.
Yes.
Very.
And a lot of times we don't do that.
Remember, you want to be in a healthy love, not unhealthy love.
But knowing what love is.
Yes.
Because a lot of times people don't know what true love is.
Well, listen, I was one of them. Like,
and the whole, you know, I've heard things where people would say, I can't be with you because I'm no longer in love with you. And it's like, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
Because to fall in love with someone and to be with someone or to love someone is constantly making sure that you make a choice to be with them.
Yes.
Being in love really has that's an emotion. That's that butterfly in your stomach. I think I gotta go to the bathroom, but it's not that. Like, no, because they just walked in the room, so you know I'm feeling a little funny. You know, but it's more of you don't always have that, but you do have those moments where you look at them and you just like, oh my goodness, you know, like holy crap, this is real type, you know. But then you gotta know that I choose to love you, like I choose. It's a choice. Being in a relationship and staying with somebody is a choice.
Talk about your right man, like that is what?
It's a choice.
It is.
That is a choice.
Especially me, I've never been in a very long relationship. And I've been in relationships, but not very long. I had kids and everything. But that goes back, like I said, to self-love. Like, I wanted love so bad. You know, I was trying to fill a void. That's something I really didn't get. You understand? So you go from one and another. So when I took my time. You know what I did? I started speaking stuff to assistants. I started praying. I said, when my time comes, It will come. And it will come so smoothly. Okay? And that's when you're going to say, you can't just, people got to understand, some people fall in love with wanting to be in love.
Right, the idea of it.
The idea of it. Instead of really just looking at a person, like you said, I want to wake up. Sometimes I stare at people like, I remember laying with someone and I was like, the hell is you here for? Why are you here? But I want to turn over and smile. And be able to say, this is the person I want to come home to. This is the person I want to love right. This is the person I want to grow old with. I want to make memories with this person. And when this person, go pass on to life, I want to be able to still feel that love even when that person is not here. That's love. That's love.
Because those vows that you have when you take those vows, that sickness and health till death do us part. Yes. When you truly have that relationship where you love each other, and I think I seen it in a Tyler Perry movie. I don't know, he has so many. And it was they were at a house and there were so many people, but there's always a lot of people at a house and people come over. But she's there and she's talking about the love with her husband that
Cicely
passed away.
Tyson. I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, and just
Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
And the way she said it, and it was just
real.
And it was just like, to have that, even when the person does move on, for you to still feel that.
Yes.
That is something that people don't have, people don't get. And they don't even know how to get there.
Right.
But they sit there and they play it like they do.
People get married to just say, hey, I'm married.
Right.
This
like
is why people stay with each other, because they tolerant of each other.
Right.
I don't want that kind of love.
It's more of a business agreement.
You can leave me by myself.
Right. Exactly.
And let me continue to love myself.
Exactly.
You understand? And that's just the thing. And you have to be ready. You have to be loved. Remember, everything is law of attraction. So what you give out is what comes back to you. But never rush it. And I had to learn that. Because the people I was with, I was just like, man, I could do better. What am I doing? Right. Then you got to look at yourself in the reflection of the people you with. Oh, this is how I really feel about myself?
Yeah, because you are who you with.
And it's sad, right? And it's sad that people don't get that chance to really love. Right. And love another human being, because that's what we're here for, to love each other.
I never understood the people that say, hey, I'm going to stay alone.
Right.
Like, I know you might not want to fully be in a relationship with someone, but there are people that you have to be around and that you love and you care about.
Right.
Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, there are people that you love and care about. Mm-hmm. So it's never just being alone. I know people that isolate themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, how? You never want to feel a touch from another human being? Like, what is that? That's not, we're not built for that.
It's the self-love and responsibility. Yes. Love is responsibility.
That's
it's sacrifice.
Straight up, yes.
If I can say love is sacrifice, it's doing the things you don't want to do and still doing them because you love that person. There's a sense of like, I may not want, I don't feel like talking to you right now, but I'm gonna do it because I love you. I don't feel like listening to you right now, but I'm gonna do it because I love you. And that responsibility, a lot of people, that's what they say. They want to feel good. It's like they trying to use that love like a dope fiend.
Yeah, like a drug.
Just
addicted.
Beat me up, make me feel good. And as soon as that high starts to dissipate, it's like, I don't like it here. That's where that, I'm falling out of love with you thing. It's like what you're giving me is no longer fulfilling that selfish need to always feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I see yourself trying to water your own garden, and you're not paying attention to mine as much. And I don't want the responsibility of making myself feel good. What are you here for? That's the attitude towards it. They may not be saying it, but that's what it is. And then they start, it's like temporary highs all over the place. I got to deal with this person and that person to feel something that I should be able to bring to myself.
Yes, everything goes back to self.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's you, and I think it's disrespectful for you to believe that another person is solely responsible for your happiness. What does that do to the other person? It's like, damn, I gotta love me and teach you how to love me. What are you doing? Yeah. What are you?
That's a lot to work with, okay?
And then you wonder why I'm tight. I gotta love myself and teach you how to to the other person, and because you can tell like you're sucking the life out of me. You're not bringing nothing to the table. It's like you want me to cook, clean, do everything, and you don't even want to wash dishes. Like you're not bringing nothing to add to this thing that we supposed to be having going on with one another. And I think that's the downfall in a lot of relationships. They weigh way too much on the other person.
Expectations.
And yeah, your expectations of me is unrealistic. You don't even have those expectations in yourself.
What?
But you want to have those expectations in me. Basically, it's saying I am too lazy to do the work of making myself happy, so you do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's saying.
Yes.
Yeah, so we actually went over a little bit. Yeah, we did. This definitely a great show.
What great it was. I had a wonderful time.
Yes.
Yes.
But we definitely have to do this again. Let's try and set something up for next month.
Okay.
Set something up for next month, and we come through and we'll do it again. And we'll have a great time and just really, really talk and get more into the spoken word stuff, and get everybody even some.
This time I won't have no phone or paper.
So I want you ladies to give out your social media so people know how to follow you.
Okay.
And if you got something coming up, let them know where they can come see you at.
Go ahead, Miss.
Okay. Well, my Instagram is Kennie Sings. That's KENNIE_sings. And I have a show the 15th at Hexagon Lounge, and that's in Harlem.
I'm definitely gonna step by. Well, this is, May I Speak. My Instagram is MAE.I_speak. Definitely check me out. And also have Facebook, May Tiffany Ling. Twitter, May I Speak as well. I do have a show coming up next month. Move the Crowd. I'll be in Nico Rican Cafe, spitting that word.
All right. And me, I'm Prophet Pete. And that's it. You can find me Prophet_radio_NY, WEMS radio, or WEMS_radio. And I'm here twice a week. So all you got to do is tune in. Because I'm always here. And I talk the most crap. All the time. So, yo, we out of here. Thank you, ladies, for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And up next is The Comfort Zone.
That was